Dana Denha, and this is Art Fair Close-Up 2017. I'm here with Courtney Peterson, and she's got some lovely jewelry, and she's got a great story behind it. So, Courtney, why don't you tell us a little bit? You talked about you sell history, and you were a history teacher before this?
Right. I taught history to high school students, and so I basically was selling American history to kids who are kind of maybe interested. So now what I'm doing is I'm designing and making jewelry with my husband, and we're actually selling something that people desire. So it works.
So you and your husband live on a farm?
We do. I'm from New Orleans, Lee's from Connecticut. We ended up buying a farm west of Philadelphia, equidistant Philadelphia and Baltimore. And it's an 1820 farmhouse. It was a mess. It's now a beautiful farm. Actually, it's being judged in a statewide contest this weekend while we're not here.
Oh, that's too bad.
Not there. Yeah.
So when you were teaching history, were you making jewelry at that time too, or did this happen after the fact?
Toward the end of it, I was. My sister was the artist. I donated a kidney to her. I became like, I don't want to work for anybody again. So I kind of did this more and more. Now it's what we do.
Why don't you tell me about your inspiration for your jewelry pieces? They're lovely.
Well, basically, my husband does Peterson Field Guides, which is a bird plant series telling you what is what. And so something like this, we are doing, basically, this is a fern, but as I say to a friend, no ferns die for this. So they're cut out like paper dolls, chiseled, engraved, soldered, tumbled 3 days, and hand polished.
Wow, so you do that the whole process is done by you.
The little ones we've gotten cast, like the birds of peace. Once I make the model in metal, then I've got a casting company who will I can call and say I want 12.
Yeah.
So that makes it to work. We do have a lot of things. We really don't play the quote art game in the normal way. So we're happy to kind of stand behind the booth and talk about dogs.
Yeah. Well, I see you have a lot of them over there, so.
We do.
Well, and you talked about, before we started rolling, you were talking a little bit about how you like stuff to lay on the body.
Right. I like things you can use lots of ways in terms of being flexible. The thumb, let me see your thumb. You like things your way. This is a more flexible thumb. But I like things that you can wear as a pin or you can hang it on a chain. So most of our pieces will do that.
And you also will listen to the consumer a little bit, and if they want something smaller or bigger, you will accommodate that.
Right. If you were making something this big and this tiny woman comes up, I'm happy to make it her scale. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's more like the old flexible selling history, So we are, it's what we do, and we're always doing new things. We're now doing a lot more stones because for 40 years we've been collecting stones. Mm-hmm. So you'll see now there are more stones worked into pieces. So all this in the cases, those are all 14 karat gold and silver. Up here, this is what we started with, which is basically, it was sterling and brass, it's now sterling and a heavy gold plating. So we've kind of moved with the times. Mm-hmm. I basically could be kneeling on the ground in India pounding out jewelry the way I started.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot.
Well, I think that's the way any sort of medium works. You kind of got to evolve with it. Do you have a favorite piece or subject matter that you've worked with?
Well, insects, believe it or not. I love insects. Dragonflies have been our best sellers as long as we've been doing it. But this little baby, this is something called a stiplopid. It's a parasite on wasps, but it had really cute wings and really cute antennae. So I like insects.
And before we go, do you have an online presence at all where people can find you?
It's CourtneyDesign.com.
All right, perfect. And why should people come head out to your booth at the Arbor Art Fair?
Because it's not going to be the normal stuff you see everywhere. I mean, how many people have cockroach pins?
All right, well, thank you, Courtney.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more for Art Fair Close-Up 2017.